Hi everybody, welcome back to Sew Making the Top. I hope you're all having a good new year. I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you're all having fun sewing or knitting or crafting or whatever it is you like to do. Today I thought I'd just stop by and do a quick, hopefully quick video of my recent makes and what I'm planning to do over the next few weeks. Now, I don't know if the light looks really harsh. I decided to do this earlier. Today is Bank Holiday Monday. So first thing this morning, when there was lots of natural light, I thought I will go and do a video. It is now, what is the time now? 4 o'clock. And I'm only just getting around to doing it. And I've got a bit of a squeaky chair too, so I'm sorry about that as well. Right, so let's get into my sew makes. This video, I'm going to do a bit about what I have been sewing, and then I'm going to move on to my new knitting obsession. So if you're not a knitter, not interested in learning about knitting, then second half of the video is probably not going to be for you. Okay, makes. Let's do the makes first. Let's do what I'm wearing first. Okay, let me stand up. Here we are. This is the overlap top pattern by Dhurata Davies. It's got a nice big back belt loop, a nice thick chunky belt. The pattern has got just straight sleeves, and I've decided to gather mine because I think the straight sleeves will just really annoy me. And the pattern has got quite a thick collar. Okay, so I don't like it. Let me just show you the pattern again. Now, the story behind this is, Ashley and I went to the Knitting and Stitching show, and I saw this blouse and this fabric on a hanger, and I absolutely loved it. They didn't have the pattern there. I got this from Draper's Daughter, so I could order the pattern from them, and then they were going to post it to me. Had I seen the pattern, I probably wouldn't have bought it, because when I was younger, I used to do judo, and I cannot get out of my head that it looks like a judo top. I just can't. So I folded the collar in half, and that still hasn't made any difference. I have fallen out of love with the fabric, which is a bit of a shame, because this is Nani Iro fabric, which I got from these guys who were also at the show. Can you see that, Maven? Okay. Now, those of you that have used Nani Iro will know that it is quite narrow, and just this version of the top took 2.7 meters. You'll also know that Nani Iro fabric is quite expensive, and this is a cotton sateen. Let me just get a bit closer so you can see that. And it's beautiful fabric. It's lovely. Love the fabric. Just don't love it on me. Like the pattern. It just reminds me of a judo suit. But I'm very much like this at the moment. And I don't know if it's me. Might be, might not be. I've got a calyx unit of fabric here that you can't see, which I might show you one day. And I don't like any of that either. I used to love patterns, and I've just massively gone off patterns. I have massively gone off tons of stuff that I have made. I've got rid of tons of stuff that I have made, and I just don't really like anything at the moment. So that's a bit of a shame. Right, moving on to other sewing stuff that is not to wear. This, now if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen me post this. I haven't knitted this, I've just stitched it. Cushion, okay, cushion, and a matching stocking. Now, the story behind this is I had a lovely jumper from the White Company that I loved and loved and loved and loved. I've had it for a couple of years, and then for reasons unknown to everybody, including myself, I washed it and shrunk it. I was a little bit heartbroken about that. I didn't really know what to do with it because it was too small for me to wear. So I decided to give it a new lease of life by turning it into a stocking and a cushion. So at least I know that I will use those and continue to love them. so I didn't have to throw it away and say goodbye to it. Really quick and easy. I made the stocking pattern myself just by putting together a couple of sheets of paper and drawing it. It is lined with some grey flannel that I made my son's pyjamas in, which is from, I think I got that from Dalston Mill, and a recycled bit of Christmas ribbon. If you're going to make something like this, you will need to line it, because you don't want it, when you put stuff in it, you don't want it stretching it out, basically. So good idea to line it. So that is those two. So they were quite successful because I'm not wearing them, so therefore they're fine. And our last video, I mentioned making a Christmas tablecloth and some napkins before Christmas with my fancy sewing embroidery machine, which I never really use for embroidery. Anyway, I have done it. I'm not showing you the tablecloth because it's massive, but it's basically a version of these, which are the same pattern, just in different colours. I've made 6 of those. This white fabric is, I think it's purple cotton. It's like cotton sheeting. It's a nice quality. Again, I got this from Dalston Mill, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. And I had to have extra wide sheeting because our table's quite wide and it's also quite long, and I didn't want any joins or anything in it. So that is what I've used. I started off putting interfacing on the back when I was embroidering, and then got bored with doing that. And the fabric was fine. It puckered it a little bit, but it ironed out, so I didn't have to use interfacing. And I've just basically done snowflakes, different colours, different sizes all over the tablecloth, and hemmed it very much the same as those. So that was another successful sew, because I'm not wearing those either. Right, other things that were successful that I also won't be wearing. To support my new knitting obsession, I made myself a project bag. Here, I cannot remember where I got this fabric from. I love this fabric. It's a furnishing fabric, a kind of a cotton sateen fabric. I've lined it. It's got a little interior zip, boxed at the bottom, and then obviously just a drawstring. Okay, so that is going to be for some knitting. Put that one aside. And then the other last sewing project I have made is, and I apologise in advance for the quality of the printing, because my print, I don't know what my print is doing. It's fallen out, but printing quality is pretty bad. Basically, this is the Genoa Tote by Blogless Anna. Comes in 3 different sizes, 2 different handle lengths. Someone on Instagram, I cannot remember the lady's name, which is really bad, made some amazing versions of these to give to her friends for Christmas from Furnishing Fabrics. Now, the bag has got lots of, as I said, different style variations and different sizes, really clear instructions, really good pictures to follow. So I would recommend it, especially if you're relatively new to bag making. It's a good pattern. Did I need to buy the pattern to make the bag? Not really. I could have just made that one up. But, you know, sometimes you don't need an excuse, do you? So this is my version. Hold that up for you so you can see it, see the fabric. So a friend got me this fabric for my birthday, and this is like a cotton canvas, and I've lined this as well. I have made the handles in leather with the silver rivets. It's got supporting tabs inside. This leather was from a scrap bag that I bought, and I think it's from car furnishing. I'm not sure if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Leather that they use for the inside of cars. So I'm kind of repurposing it for the bags. And it's got a zip inside, which you won't be able to see, and a little tab that you can put your keys on or attach your keyring to, etc. These are the short handled versions, and this is the medium-sized bag. Now, this would have been even bigger because the bag base comes out to about 4 inches, I think. I doubled it because I knew I wanted to fill it with yarn. So I wanted it to be quite a big bag base, and you can see this is still a sizable bag, even though it's been made substantially shorter because I've widened the bag base. I hope all of that makes sense. And it's completely full of yarn that I'll talk about next. So that's that. I do think if I was going to make this as a normal tote or as a gift to somebody, I would make the small because, yeah, they're pretty big. All right. I think that is everything sewing-wise. So I'm going to have tea. Nice. Okay. I'm now going to move on to the knitting section. So if you don't want to know about knitting, if you're not interested in knitting, if you don't knit, if you don't want to start knitting, it was lovely to see you, and I'll see you again soon. For anybody else, you will probably know that I have knitted on and off for quite a long time, and I've knitted with chunky wool. I'm not a natural knitter. I've also tried crochet. How do you do that? People that crochet, honestly don't know how you do it. It's like some sort of mystical art to me. I just cannot get my head around it. I can't. I'm left-handed, but I tend to sort of not follow my left-handed rules when I'm knitting and doing other stuff. So it can't be that. Anyway, I've decided not to give up on knitting, but I'm going to try and knit some socks. So I did some Googling because I thought I just need some inspiration, and I came across a lovely lady on YouTube called Lucy, and she has a channel called This Nanny Knits, and she's a child nanny rather than a grandmother nanny. And she has lots of links to different patterns and different companies that she's bought wool from. So that was really useful. Meant I've spent some money and it's not arrived yet, but when it does, I will let you know. But what I have in the meantime, even though I've shown you a bag full of yarn, it's not going to stop me buying more yarn. So moving on, I have already bought a couple of yarn, balls of yarn to make socks. This is from Hobbycraft. I'll put it that way to read it. This is Silent Night. It is 100 grams 4-ply, 75% wool, 29% nylon, 2% polyester, and it is by West Yorkshire Spinners, reared, sheared and spun in Britain. And I love the colours of this. I love that it's got sparkle in. I think it's going to make a gorgeous pair of socks. Hopefully. And this is from the same company, same makeup basically, and this is called Vintage Tinsel. Again, it's got little sparkly bits in it. Hopefully you can see that. Not my normal choice of colour, but again, I think it's going to look lovely as a pair of socks at some point. Right, so if anybody does knit successfully and has got a foolproof pattern for a beginner pair of socks, please can you let me know? I've done a lot of Googling and I have found a couple of patterns. One which Lucy mentioned, this lady, which I did go and have a look at, and these are free patterns, Kate Celine. So these are arm warmers, which are basically socks without the toe and heel, which I might try just to get myself back into knitting in the round because I've not done that for a bit. There's a cowl pattern, and I think she does have a sock pattern as well. The other one is, and again, I apologise for the quality of the print, the Fibre company, the one sock pattern. This is supposed to be a beginner pattern. Now, I think this is the problem where some people's idea of a beginner pattern and my abilities as a beginner, very different. Yeah, I kind of read the instructions to this and went, oh, what? So I've also ordered a couple of kits. One is from Woolen Stuff, and the other one is from Tribe Yarns, again mentioned by Lucy. So as I said, really useful to look at her YouTube channel. If you've not come across her before, give her a look. She seems lovely and she does a ton of knitting and always provides loads of links to where she gets her stuff from. So it is Lucy, and her YouTube channel is This Nani Knits, and I think she's on Instagram as well. So that is worth checking out. What else have I got? I think that's probably everything. One thing I haven't mentioned is I have, even though I hate everything I make at the moment, it hasn't stopped me buying more fabric. Of course not. So Sherwood's Fabrics had a sale on 50% off their remnants. Now, if you've used Sherwood's before, you'll know their remnants are really sizable, 2-3 meters. I have ordered some fabric from there, which I'll either make another one of these coats. I've ordered sort of a pink tweed, a grape colour wool, and sort of a grapey colour linen. And a couple of days after I ordered them, I was like, what am I going to make? But I think I'm going to make a different coat, not a different coat, that coat in a different colour. And also ages ago, I made a grey checked tweedy bikerish style jacket, which was again a bird coat pattern. And I think I might make another one of those in this sort of the pink checked fabric. We'll see. But when all of that new shopping and stuff arrives, I will do a post and let you know, so you can see. And hopefully, especially if anybody is kind enough to recommend a beginner sock pattern, not using the scary double pointed needles, the circular needle one, I might have even started on that as well, so I can show you progress on that. So there we go. Thanks as always for stopping by. Thank you for everybody that likes and subscribes and comments on our videos. It means so much to us. It makes such a massive difference when we're sort of looking back. I think we had a bit of an issue where some of the comments were not showing up. We didn't get notifications that people were commenting. Hopefully that's fixed now. And as always, if you like to follow us, please do so. Please hit the notification bell so you can see when our videos are coming out. Hoping again, if not weekly, then definitely fortnightly. And Ashley and I should be back together in a couple of weeks to do our next video. So see you all then. Thanks very much. Bye.